Hey comic book fans, today we're talking about Something is Killing the Children, and this is a well-known series, right? This is my first time actually reading it. Um, this is one of the more famous comic books that I've seen throughout the years since it started back in 2019, if I'm correct. And this is my first impressions of what the story is, and it's really just something I want to test out in reading. I was looking through my catalog, and the story starts off in a very, I'll say, intriguing way. It's this scarred man talking to this scarred little girl, and she's pretty much, how kids are being honest. She tells them that you don't look like any regular policeman. You look kind of scary. And he responds back to her, and they're going back and forth. You can tell this is small talk, that the man is trying to make small talk with the girl before they get into the actual important conversation, whatever that might be. And one thing I did notice while reading this book is that this is not some regular interrogation. Obviously, this is not a policeman. And I was very interested because I kind of already knew the outlining of what this title is, but I didn't know how, every the details of it. And the man pretty much tells her it's my job to know many secrets after she asks him, do you know the secret? And one thing I do commend the little girl for is that she tries to hold her promise, right? She tries to not be easy and tell the guy everything, but obviously he has a lot more experience in getting out information. In this case, it's the little kid. And a great detail to the story is that the little girl doesn't eat her ice cream at all, and she says that she's not allowed to have sweets before dinner, but I think it's morally of how nervous she is as well. And we get into the actual story of why this little girl's injured, has the eye patch, etc. And it's because her and her friends were in the woods, and something pretty much ripped her friends apart, like physically. And she was the only survivor of that. And this older woman, known as Erica Slaughter, came to her and pretty much gave her the whole rundown of who she is and like who she works for, which is like insane. But then she, like, I don't want to say kidnaps the little girl, right? But obviously the parents wasn't in on this. So she takes the little girl back into the woods with her to help her hunt down the monster. And honestly, when I sat back and thought about that, I'm like, that's absolutely insane to do, right? The little girl's already been through trauma. And you want to take her back to the very place that she survived in order for you to hunt down said monster. And this is where the whole story is. This guy's asking this little girl about Erica Slaughter, trying to get information out of this little girl. What are his intentions? I don't think they are the best intentions overall, but the best lead he has is said little girl, right? And she starts to tell him a little bit of the story of what happened after they went back out there in the woods. And this whole story is about what happened out there in the woods, and Erica Slaughter, the steps that she took, and pretty much the back and forth that they had. And off the rip, you could tell just by this phone call that Erica Slaughter, not only does she take her job very seriously, she's not a very controllable beast. Yeah, she works for said people, but they can barely handle her, right? They can barely, have her just follow the rules that they have. She will take these obscure routes and she will do things her way in order to get the job done. And when you're writing a character, it's important to make sure that you write details in the character and write little quirks here and there. And I saw that when she's talking to her little stuffed animal octopus thing. And in this word, I'm not sure if it was actually talking or if it was just in her head, but that's a little detail to give such a character, right? Especially somebody like her, which is a monster hunter essentially. And I just thought that was cool. And one thing and another thing that I saw is that she can be very gentle when it comes to kids. You know, she doesn't seem like the most soft person just off rip or just with anybody, but you can tell that she can turn it off or on depending on the situation or who she's talking to. And you know, this little girl's obviously in her hands out here, but she feels safe with her because she pretty much promised the little girl that I'm going to handle and kill the monster that hurt you and your friends. And then we get this nice panel of the embrace of them both. And you know, it's cool that this is not just a Monster Hunter type, you know, story or whatever, that there's actual depth within the story of these characters, and that she actually cares about the kids that she's trying to save. Even though the overall that this is her job, there is still empathy within her just as a person and when she's taking care of these kids. And we come back to pretty much an interrogation, and the little girl's like, you know, why do you want to know? Like, you know, she starts talking about she wants her parents, stuff like that. And the guy, he doesn't even skip a beat. Like, he knows what he's doing. He knows how to keep her talking. He's done this many times before. And you can tell just by the scars on his face that he's a veteran in whatever field he is in. And you know, he keeps her talking. And we get to the part to where Erica Slaughter is about to kill the monster, and the little girl is telling her that I can hear her in the woods. I can hear her fighting the monster, and she can hear the monster as well. She wasn't there at the fight because obviously she wanted to keep her safe, but she can hear what's going on. And you know, this man, he's pretty much finessing her to tell this overall story, even though the girl, you know, try not to, says she was going to. Essentially she does. And that's when we know that Erica was, you know, successful in killing the monster. And we see this guy when he's talking to her, you can see the psychoticness kind of break through, right? You can see the craziness kind of break through, and even the little girl's like, what the hell, right? And it gets the unfortunate part, right, of the story is getting there. And you know, Erica comes back, right, and she kills the monster, and the little girl sees Erica, and she's just covered in like marks and blood. Like, you could tell that it was a complete war zone, a 1v1 war zone. She has these massive blades in her hand, and she seems like just off the rip, like a very cool character. And just based off of the first book, right, I don't know about the rest of the series, but just going off of this, I get supernatural vibes and John Wick vibes, right? It seems like the type of organization she's a part of gives me that John Wick vibe, and the fact that they can't control her and the simple Monster Hunter vibe of the story gives me that supernatural vibe as well, which are two good things because I enjoy those two other titles. And the little girl, after telling him the story, she's like, I don't want to be here anymore. You don't want to help her, right? The little girl pretty much tells him off rip, like, you're not here to help her. And that's when we get this, like, when I saw this, like, I already kind of knew what was going to happen. And it's like, she survived the monster, but he kills her, right? The little girl's gone. And after he gets the information out of her, she's done, which is, I'm like, damn, like she's been through a lot, and to have that ending was very messed up. And then that's when he makes a call, like, yeah, like, I got my information, and this is what I expected. You know, he's like, I kind of already knew that this is what I expected, and it's time for like the next trials, referring to Erica. So I will be covering more of this series on the channel. And that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching this video. Like, share, and subscribe for more. And thank you for watching.